Welcome back via Zoom, and joining me live in Blyth, Ontario is the artistic director of the Blyth Theatre, Gil Garrett. Thank you very much, Gil, for joining me.
Oh, I'm grateful to be here.
And in the background, what do you have there?
What we have right here is our incredible Memorial Hall, this beautiful theater where we hold the festival every year. It's just an extraordinary space. I mean, this building, incredibly enough, was built in 1920. It was actually the Women's Institute locally here in town who raised up the money to build this at the end of the First World War as a living cenotaph. So what their dream was all their sons and husbands and who had gone and fought in the First World War, the sacrifices that they'd made. They wanted to celebrate the very culture that those brave soldiers went and fought for, and they built this incredible space. So here we are, over 100 years later, and we have this incredible. It's amazing.
Love
So
it, theater that you
this
have.
started, funnily enough, at the beginning of the pandemic. The festival, as you know, the theaters were closed all over the country. We couldn't gather, and everyone just missed it so much. And so we set about planning to build something outdoors. We thought, okay, we're going to do some kind of performances outdoors. And as soon as we started to dream that way, as so many things in this community seem to have draw, it was just support and support and support from all around. We had donors, we had folks at the province, from the feds, we had our local municipality. And what we did was we went out to the fairgrounds just outside of Blyth, and we built what is now a stunningly beautiful outdoor amphitheater, seats 416 people, and it's a gorgeous space, multi-level, a giant thrust, and audiences have just absolutely loved it. You get to watch the shows open air. The Huron County sunset happens off to, stage left, and you get to exit under that canopy of stars in the summertime, and it's just a really incredible thing. The wind moving through the poplars, it's just phenomenal.
Awesome. Let's talk about your Flex Pass because you have something really unique to people that love live theater that it can be unaffordable, shall we say. You've made it attainable. Tell us how you did this.
Yeah, we've managed to keep this theater as accessible as possible. We've really wanted to maintain that popular audience. And so you can actually get a Flex Pass. I think it's $175, and you can cash that in for 4 tickets for the summer, which is pretty incredible. And that you could choose whether you want to do, bring 3 of your friends and come to one performance, or if you want to stretch it out and see 4 different shows over the course of the summer. So there's all kinds of different ways to be able to use that. And we've really, gone to great lengths to make sure that this theater stays accessible, right? It's one of the things that people love about coming to Blythe is not only are the tickets affordable, but you also get interesting things like the country supper. Oftentimes people will sign up for the country supper where you can come and have a hot meal made by our very own Royal Canadian Legion Branch 420 and the awesome force that is the Legion Ladies Auxiliary. And it is family style, everybody sitting at the same table, and you're passing the potatoes and getting to meet people who you otherwise would never meet, getting to talk to them about, where they come from and what's brought them there. And it can just be truly this amazing moment of community. So that's really, the Flex Pass. I think I'm grateful that you point at it because it is tremendous value for any culture vulture. But on top of that, it does just keep this place even more accessible for everybody.
I love it. Okay, tell us about a couple of things we get to see this summer, either Radio Town, Sir John A. Tell us what's coming up.
This is going to be an absolutely amazing season. So we have a brand new play that this is a premiere of a show called Radio Town that will be happening at the end of the season, and it's going to actually run right until the middle of September. And it's about a local inventor, tinkerer, a man named Doc Cruikshank, who actually built his own radio transmitter in the 1920s up in Wingham, Ontario. And over the course of the next 50 years, that little transmitter in his garage, where farmers used to come over, were friends of his and tell jokes on the air, that grew to be one of the biggest national broadcasters across this country, and actually had so many local musicians who got their starts there and actually would perform on the Circle 8 Ranch and on the Saturday Night Barn Dance, being people um, uh, like Tommy Hunter would perform on there. You had Shania Twain on there when she was still a little kid, and just an absolutely amazing cultural gem in this community. So this is a play that celebrates him. We also have a world premiere of a brand new play being written just for the Blyth Festival by the one and only Emma Donoghue, who will be familiar to a number of your listeners. I mean, she was shortlisted for the Booker Prize. She was nominated for an Oscar for her adaptation of her own incredible novel, Room. So she's written an original piece for us called The Wind Coming Over the Sea, and it is actually based on real love letters that she found in the library in London, Ontario. And these love letters were written between this young couple who were famine survivors in Ireland. And at the middle of the potato famine, they had lost pretty much everything, and they decided they were going to immigrate to Canada. And he went ahead, and she stayed home with their two little kids, and she followed 18 months later. And over the course of that 18 months, they wrote these beautiful love letters back and forth. And incredibly, they've survived over the last 150 years, and you can actually still read them, still see them. And Emma took them and has woven them into this beautiful play that incorporates all kinds of Irish music, live fiddling. We've got an amazing accordion player and some concertina and piano and beautiful singers. And that show will just be absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's an amazing
Thanks.
season we've got lined up.
Thank you, Gil. I know you have an amazing season. Thank you very much. Best wishes for great success.
Thank you. So I appreciate it so much, Peter.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about the real estate market with Gary Van Bakel.